Hi, everyone. So my name is Rita Garrity, and this is the first class, the first video of this mindfulness MPS series. So I'm going to be sharing with you some mindfulness-based stress resilience skills, and hopefully they will help you with stress management and emotional regulation. The good news is that there is a lot of new research with regards to mindfulness and neurodiversity and how we can take care of ourselves, do the mindfulness practice, and yet take care of ourselves around our own unique nervous systems. And so I'm really excited to share that with you. One of the reasons is that I came to mindfulness through my own kind of not neurotypical way, in that I have chronic anxiety and so bad that, a lot of panic attacks, and, in my past going to the ER thinking I'm having a heart attack, just really some serious stress stuff for me. And so I started with mindfulness about 15 years ago, and it helped. But now this new research has really opened up different areas of caring for myself. And I could see how it would have helped a long time ago. But, they learn what they learn. So now I can share this with you. So hopefully it'll be really helpful. And, I'm going for resilience here, not getting rid of stress. We're never going to get rid of stress. Life is stressful. It's kind of the nature of it. And so what we want is the ability to work with that stress and, to understand our bodies, our minds, our nervous systems, so that we can actually meet that challenge that life gives to us. So, and yay to Anza for supporting this kind of a series, because it's not just for your math anxiety or for your test anxiety. It will hopefully serve you throughout life, with the traffic jams and the job deadlines and the relationship issues and all that kind of thing. So it's really good that they're doing that, and I appreciate them for having me. So I'm going to share my screen with you. First of all, I want to give you my information. You can take a screenshot of it, or a picture. So my name is Rita Garrity. My email, rgarrity@yahoo.com, so that you can email me any questions you have from these videos. I'm really want to connect and want to know what you have to say or your questions. And make sure you put Deanne's a student in the subject line, so I'll pay special attention. And then my website is mindfullifeguide.com, and that, it's pretty up to date. I haven't put all kind of the new research. I'm working on that, but it does tell you, my philosophies and where and how I was certified to teach mindfulness and all that kind of stuff. So feel free to check that out too. So what's really important about mindfulness, let's get to that, is that first and foremost, I want you to know that your attention is a superpower. I mean, have you ever thought about how important your attention is? It literally does kind of shape your reality, where what you pay attention to is what your world is about. They say where your attention goes, your energy flows. So, if you're really focused on graduating, you're going to do all these exams and, go take the next courses and move on. All your energy is going there because that's what you're paying attention to, because that's what's important to you. The same with your health or your relationships. But it's also the same if you put attention, like on the news, let's say all the bad news stories, your attention is going to go there, and it's going to create your reality. Or your energy is going to flow there. Or if you put your attention to gratitude, the things that you're grateful for, again, your energy is going to flow there, and it will create your reality. So just so you know that your attention is a powerful tool, right? Now, even though It's a superpower for sure. It has its weaknesses. So number one is that we all have a limited supply. And so that depends on how we're feeling in a certain day, how much we have to do, how many things we have to pay attention to. So I tell you that so that you can kind of guard your attention, right? You don't want to be spending it all on something that's not going to reap you any benefits, right? So maybe the news story, the bad news stories, or the um, angry social media stuff, right? Is it worth our energy to flow there, to put our attention there, especially when we're not going to have attention supply later on for some things that help us, right? So we have a limited supply. Number two, it takes practice to learn to manage our attention. And that's what we're going to do in this class. We're going to do a lot of practicing. So it doesn't come natural. It's sort of like, I always liken it to any kind of exercise, like let's say sit-ups. We aren't born with the abs, right? We have to make the muscle, do the sit-ups, and then the abs come. So that's the same with our attention. We're kind of born, our natural default mode is that our attention jumps, and you add to it our culture that's actually pulling our attention many different directions. We have been taught for our attention to jump. So we have to actually practice to bring our attention and sustain it in places that help us. So we're going to do a lot of that practicing. And then also our attention, unfortunately, can get easily hijacked by our survival brain. And I'll tell you more about the survival brain in this series, but just know that, if your survival brain deems something as a threat, it will hijack your attention. So when you want your attention to go to like, I need to go to sleep now, and your survival brain says, no, I need you to worry about that math exam, it can get hijacked unless you've practiced and have a strong attention muscle. It can take your attention away. So we're going to be working on how to practice with that attention muscle so that our survival brain won't hijack us. Okay, so what is mindfulness? The definition, again, it's about attention, is that we're directing our attention to a present moment experience without judging it. So we've talked about attention, but let's break down present moment experience and without judging it. So what is a present moment experience? It's what's happening right now. It's a present moment experience, what we're experiencing in this present moment. So you're seeing things, you're hearing my voice, you might be hearing things in your environment. We having sensations, right? I mean, you can feel your body on your chair or wherever you're at, your feet on the floor. Maybe you're cold, maybe you're warm, maybe you're hungry. These are all sensations in the body. Those are present moment experiences. You could be having emotions. Maybe you're sad about something or excited to do something. That could be going on. Moods, right? I know I wake up, yesterday was warm and it made me smile. This morning was a little gloomier and I didn't smile as much. So we have moods that happen in the present moment. And then we're also thinking, that happens a lot. That's a present moment experience. And so we can even be mindful of that. All these experiences are either pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral, right? So in the hearing, let's say you might hear birds singing, and for you that might be very pleasant, right? Or water running, waterfalls, that type of thing. Or you could be hearing, like I've been hearing for the past week, construction outside, the bang, 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 and the high whir of the saws and all that kind of thing. And that could be unpleasant, right? Or you could just hear something, I don't know, TV in the background, and that's neutral. So these experiences have those kind of tones, and some of them could be difficult, like pain or difficult emotions, right? Difficult moods, sadness, anxiety. And then also they could become overwhelming. And that's when we want to be skillful about where to bring our attention, because if we have too many experiences that are difficult, they can become overwhelming. So we want to know how and where to move our attention so that we can mitigate that experience of overwhelm, right? So that we can calm down our nervous system and work with that stress. And then we say without judging it. So what that means is that we're going to take these present moment experiences and look at them in a kind and curious way, right? Let's be clear, we judge all the time. So, and that's important, right? But I'm talking about, so we assess things. We say, is that milk too sour for me to drink one more time? Or is that car far enough away for me to make it across the street? Or how much do I have to study for this exam? Can I wing it tomorrow? Do I need more? We're always judging. So judging, assessing is fine. What happens is that when we decide that one of those present moment experiences are either good or bad, because when we decide that pounding of the construction outside, that experience of hearing the pounding is bad, we start to get activated or agitated by it, like it's bad and I shouldn't be hearing it. And then we set up kind of a tension in our system, tension, not attention. We set up tension in our system toward that experience. And here's the experience, and here's our tension. We want less tension, right, in our body because we're working with soothing the nervous system. So the less we judge it in that sense, unless we say, oh, I have a pain in my back, that's bad, I shouldn't have that, the less tension we find, and therefore our system is better able to take it. If we say, oh, well, there's a pain, I don't like it, it's unpleasant, right? But that's not saying whether it's good or bad or it has to go away. Then you can say, how can I work with it, right? Or how can I be with it? So you can see that. So the type of judging I'm talking about is deeming it bad or good. So when we come upon a present moment experience, we want to look at it like, okay, it's pleasant or unpleasant, or it's neutral, but I'm not going to say it's good or bad. Let's just be curious about it. I hope that was helpful. If there's any questions, email me. And then one other thing we'll be doing in this series is that we're going to be cultivating positive states. So states like gratitude, kindness, compassion, joy. I mean, it might sound a little cliche, oh, just be happy. And it's really not that way. But when these states happen in our bodies, when these are our present moment experiences, if we bring our attention to those good feelings, they soothe our nervous system, and we can actually cultivate these states, right? It's so much better to feel grateful than it is to feel angry. Well, and I'm not judging. I'm not saying if anger arises, we're not, going to be with that, but it feels better, right? So if we can direct our attention more to feeling the gratitude or the kindness or the joy, and we get good at that and we cultivate those states, that's happening more often, so that when we do feel the anger, we can feel it, but maybe we can also direct our attention away and feel one of these other states. Okay. So let me stop the sharing there. Okay. So let's try a practice. First of all, I want to start by letting you know that everything I ask you to do is really an invitation. So you can try it. I invite you to try it as best you can. But if you find out that you're doing something and it really feels super uncomfortable, to the part where it's getting overwhelming, I want you to not do it, please. That's mindfulness. When you're checking in with your own nervous system and you're noticing what it's telling you, and we find different ways to work with that, that's good mindfulness practice. Then you're actually working with your own nervous system to what works. Okay. And so I'm going to invite you to do these things, and I'm also going to give you alternatives. And if none of them work, then please try your own thing or email me. But hopefully, this will end up being a good experience for you. Not necessarily all positive, because some present moment experiences are difficult, right? But that they're manageable and you can work with them, and you learn the capacity to work with more difficult states as they arise. Okay. So, okay. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to invite you to get really comfortable right now. So that's kind of new in a math class, right? All right, I'm even going to get comfortable. I'm sitting in my chair, but I also have a ottoman right there. So I'm going to put my feet out. Um, yeah, I'm giving you a little time to actually make yourself comfortable. And in order to do that, you're going to have to bring your attention to what's comfortable, right? So maybe you're cold, you might get a blanket, or you want to lean a little back. Maybe you want to lay down. For this one, the laying down's okay. Just notice that if you're going to ever do longer ones, laying down might put you to sleep. So just FYI for future. Okay. And one more time, can you get a little more comfortable? Is there any more comfort you can find? Okay. So now I'm going to invite you to look around your environment, your room. I'm assuming you're in a room, but you might be outside, right? Um, let your eyes just take in the sights of the room. And, in a way, you're letting your eyes direct your head. Let your eyes just look at whatever it wants to look at, taking in the sights. Moving, slowly, not jerking your head back and forth. And at some point, you might notice that your eyes want to kind of just stop on something, usually because it's pleasant. So let your eyes find something that's pleasant. It could be pleasant because, there's a texture there, or a pattern, or a color, or the way the light falls on it. Might be in the ceiling, or your eyes might even move your head in a certain way because it likes the way that feels. We're actually paying attention to what our nervous system is saying right now. So we find something pleasant that our eyes want to land on. And just allow your gaze to be there for a bit. And so maybe your gaze gets softer. Maybe your eyes want to close. You choose. And now I'm going to ask you to Notice what's happening in your body as you do that first. How does that feel? And now I'm going to ask you to bring your attention to the contact point of your body to what's holding you up. So, like noticing the sensation of your butt touching the seat of the chair, or your back against the back of the chair. Or what your feet are on, the floor or an ottoman or the couch. Or maybe what your hands are touching. So you're noticing the areas of your contact points. You're noticing the sensations of the contact. Maybe it's warm. You can pick one that is the most pleasing or the most neutral. And maybe you notice temperature. What's the sensations? Smoothness, soft, cool, tingly. Can you notice that this chair or couch, whatever it is actually holding you up? Can you feel that support? Can you allow your body to sink into that support? You work less, let the chair work more. If you notice any areas of tension in your body, see if they can sink into that support. You can invite them to sink, just like I'm inviting you. We're not going to make them relax or do anything. You can just say, I invite you to relax or sink into the support, talking to the areas of tension. Noticing if that invitation changes anything. So now I invite you to just notice what it feels like right here. What is this moment like? Make a mental note of what you notice. Is it relaxing? Is it quiet? Do you have racing thoughts? Is there some tension? It could be a range. None of it is wrong. I invite you to just let it be as it is and just track it with your attention. So let's do that for a few more seconds. Allowing the support of the chair, of the couch, the bed. Allowing the sensations in the body of the contact points. Tracking it with my attention. Okay, so now we'll come to the end of the practice. I'd like you to bring your attention more to the sound of my voice, allowing it to seep in a little more, hearing it a little better. And when you feel ready, go ahead and open your eyes or look at the screen. Great. So welcome back. You can allow yourself to stretch, maybe, that was something different. Kind of get a sense of how you feel right now, because we're in a different present moment. The other one was a little deeper. Now, this one, I wouldn't call it shallow, but it's different. We want to notice that difference. And yeah, notice how you feel. No right way or wrong way. You could feel exactly as you felt before you started. You could feel great. You could feel, I'm not sure about this. It's all being mindful of what's going on so you can work with that, right? We're kind of starting a relationship with with ourself and our nervous system and understanding it. Okay. So you did your first mindfulness practice, and yay, good for you. Let me know in the comments how you liked it, or email me questions if you have them. And I'll see you at the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.